Hey, I think this movie might be a phony. I'm Justin.
Rob Schneider might be an anti-vaxxer, but he'd stick a needle in that ass. I'm Sam.
Wow. I'm so sorry, guys. We're gonna have to postpone the podcast. My jeans just ripped at the crotch all the way down through the buttonholes. I'm Jackie, and this is Knockoff on Sneaker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Nonsensical November on Sneaker Madness, the month where we sometimes try to find movies that completely 100% do not make any sense. We will find out if that is the case here with 1998's Knockoff, starring JCVD, Rob Schneider, a little bit of Paul Sorvino, and I don't think anybody else.
It's Russell Long's brother, Michael. The cop.
Oh.
That's why he has such a convincing American accent, is because he's from Troy, New York.
Okay, all right. Currently streaming on any of the streaming channels with ads. We always recommend Tubi because it seems to be the least annoying of all of them. Sam, what have you got on Knockoff?
Well, Sui Hart came to the U.S. He's a very prolific Hong Kong producer. In fact, he owns Film Workshop, the studio. And he came to the U.S. and did 2 movies with Van Damme and had enough of it and went back to Hong Kong because they were so... He didn't like the level of control he was not allowed to have. He thought that there was too many exterior forces meddling with his movies. An example of that, there's about 20 minutes of movie cut out of this. And it's not like bullshit. They just cut 20 minutes of action. That'll work good.
Okay.
Let's cut a bunch of the action.
In an action movie.
The stuff that you're actually selling to the people.
Okay, it's like cutting 20 minutes of romance out of a Jennifer Lopez movie.
Well, there wouldn't be any movie left.
There wouldn't be any movie. So Diane Lane's here. Cut it all out.
Yeah. So you got the MDP Productions, as I guess the meddlers there. Mark Damon, not Matt Damon. He still does stuff, apparently, because Hurricane Heist is another MDP film. Although I think now he goes under Media 8, for whatever reason.
Oh, that's, like A24 or what's Clooney's group?
I don't know, but this guy could...
Isn't it like a something 8?
I don't know. This guy could
Phase
change
8.
his name 90 times if he keeps making shit like that in this.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, I guess
time.
he's getting money. Whatever.
Right?
But maybe Sui Hart, who was known at the time for being a very oppressive producer, John Woo, after making A Better Tomorrow, and it worked out great for both of them, was like, I'll never fucking work for that guy again.
Okay, you got any stories? What do you mean oppressive?
He is a good director, so if he just shows up at your movie and starts directing it for you, and you're like, I don't want you to do that, stop. Stop it. So stop meddling with my picture.
He's not actually making you do his dishes or something.
No, he meddles with your production. So he might have learned something, and then maybe the Filmworks doesn't do that anymore after this Van Damme business. And but then it was him and his wife that started it. So the studio hasn't done a film since 2017, but he has. And his wife got divorced. He and his wife got divorced in 2014. So maybe they're calling the whole thing off because he's done 3 or 4 movies outside of his own fucking studio. They look good. Okay. I mean, there's some... He's good. His movies are fun. This was fun. Okay. Even if it was a piece of shit that didn't make any sense. It's a good time.
Okay. All right. We'll also ask that at the end.
Schneider, obviously still a hot mess.
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking about Rob Schneider, right? And his whole thing, and Jackie, I know, blah, 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 political. But his whole thing is that, he is, I think he's a MAGA because he is very anti-cancel culture. And then the left's trying to cancel everybody in Hollywood that has different views. But I honestly think that he doesn't actually believe a goddamn thing of MAGA. He just doesn't like cancel culture because he was canceled because he stinks.
In his own words, he became a Republican not because he wanted to be. He was a lifelong Democrat. He just thought that the Democratic Party of the state of California is such a fucked up mess he can't deal with it anymore.
Yeah, but he bitches about not getting jobs, that he's getting canceled all the time. But really, did you watch this one, Rob? Because you're good awful. You are good awful.
Oh, he was fine.
I mean, like, you look... No, he was terrible.
No, you just don't like Rob Schneider. That's the thing.
I don't like Rob Schneider, but I also know that his shtick is basically Richard Dreyfuss's shtick, and Richard Dreyfuss is really good at being Richard Dreyfuss. Rob Schneider's terrible at being Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss was really good at being Dick Cheney, too. He was great. I fucking thought he was fabulous, Dick Cheney.
That was Christian Bale.
No, in W. Richard Dreyfuss
right.
It's fucking convincing.
Yeah,
like he had the hair standing up on the back of my neck. Rob Schneider would not be able to play Dick Cheney.
No, that's what I mean. I think he's just not a good actor.
I think that you want too much from him because I feel like this is one of his better performances in Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, which I didn't really like.
Wow,
I didn't like that one. What's wrong
Jackie,
with what he's doing, Jackie?
Cut to you. Where are you at on Rob Schneider?
I don't know. I mean, I don't like the guy anyway. I never thought he was funny. But, I mean, out of all the shit that I've seen him in, I think this was probably his best performance. I mean...
Judge Dredd?
He wasn't in Judge Dredd, was he?
Yes, he was.
Oh, my God. Okay.
The Sandler movies. The Grown Ups. He was fun in Grown Ups, right?
I didn't watch those.
Yeah, he was... I think Grown Ups was probably his best performance. This is not far behind. But I just think that Rob Schneider is annoying, and I've always thought that. So... I mean, this is week 2 of me bashing on whoever's in this movie.
Demo Man, he's better in Demo Man than he is in this.
He doesn't have a big role in Demo Man, though.
He nails all 8 of his lines that he has to hit.
He does, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really planning on talking about Rob Schneider this much. That's why my only note on him is Rob Schneider, still a hot mess.
Yep, okay, all right.
I already said that Michael Wong, even though he's from Troy, New York, most of his career is in Hong Kong. 50 plus. Leela Roshan, I believe her name is.
Okay. Which one's she?
The other CIA lady. She's the lady that's in the movie,
the vice president of Pants.
The vice president of Pants CIA. The CIA vice president of Pants.
Okay, so she's the action one, not the one that gets hit in the head with the can of soup.
Who is like a notable Hong Kong actress that they only hit with soup. She might have ended up on the cutting room floor too. I don't know. Right. I imagine that's one of the scenes that gets cut down is him fighting her a lot. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of women getting punched in the face in this movie, and I think certain producers didn't like that. They didn't read the script, I guess. She was in, apparently, and this is fake news, it's not accurate. It was accurate that Jean-Claude Van Damme was an extra in 1984's Break-In.
Okay.
She was apparently an extra in that as well. I did not find her officially, but the IMDb trivia said that movie and them being extras was their first roles, and that is entirely false because Van Damme was in 2 movies before that. But he was in Break-In as an extra man watching dancers on the first dance. That's big.
He was like, I can do the splits.
Yeah.
Look at my butt.
Shabba-Doo, though. That guy can...
Yeah. Shabba-Doo's hard to argue with.
Yeah. Different level of dancing there. He
doesn't need to get his ass out.
Although, Van Damme did do ballet.
Right.
And he says that if you want the most difficult workout ever, do ballet.
Yeah, I imagine.
It doesn't seem easy.
Plus, you gotta, really stuff a lot of socks into the front of your pants. That's just extra weight, Gotta have that big bulge, otherwise you're not an official ballet artist.
It's not that they have a huge sack or balls, it's just that's how many hernias they've had, and it's just extra hernia. You have like a hernia, a softball-sized hernia sack by your testicles, or your testicles turn into a golf ball-sized hernia sack.
Ew.
Nothing to
Jackie's
be proud of.
Not even going to pick that one up. I mean, we were talking about crotches here. You'd think she'd have something to say about medical condition bulge.
No, I just think it's a cup, just in case one of the ladies was mad and went tweedle tweedle with her feet and kicked him twice in the balls real quick.
You remember that scene in Top Secret, Jackie, where the ballet dancers are using the other male ballet dancers' bulges to prance across? That's what it's for. It's actually a dancing enhancer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Leads to more scenery to twinkle off of.
Raise the erection stairs.
They call it the tinkle twinkle.
Huh.
It's a pro term. I'll see myself.
Apparently, Van Damme, he's probably not. Oh, yeah, she's married to Antoine Fuqua, if anybody cared.
Oh, okay. I do care.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So, Van Damme's calmed down. He's less of an asshole. During this movie, he got arrested for public indecency in Hong Kong. Got jailed for being naked in the wrong place.
Oh.
It was funny because in the trivia on IMDb is not good for this one. It said, spoiler alert, he was arrested for public indecency. So whoever did that was like, it's a spoiler because his butt's going to get out. But his butt isn't out in this movie.
Not fully, no.
No, he's in underwear. So
yeah,
he was just being Van Damme.
Maybe it's the 20 minutes. Maybe there's a butt scene in that, and he did it in the street, and that's not okie dokie to do.
Who gets arrested for that? The guy with the butt or the guy making his butt out?
Who is the greater fool? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Question.
But either way, he has calmed down. He seems like he's concentrating more on trying to get his kids' careers going. Like he's producing a movie with it both of his kids are in. I don't know if you're
currently
familiar with Chris, the oldest, or I think he's the oldest, goes by Van Varenberg, which is their actual last name, where his daughter was going by Bianca Brie for a while, but now she's Bianca Bridget Van Damme because it's not going well enough for her that she's going to just slap the Van Damme on the back of it and hope that works like an engine there.
Which BBVD
is odd because she is a level of hot that makes it unfair for hot ladies. So I'm like, why isn't this person in movies? She's like doing backflips and she's prettier than everybody. Okay, this makes sense. She seems to be very athletic as well.
Maybe she has a very poor work ethic. I don't know.
They're both like their dad, and they're just like coked out, pissing in the street. They're in too good of shape to be him. How he did it, I'm still not sure.
It's the superhumanness of him.
Cocaine.
Seen him in those Coors Light commercials?
Yeah.
Chop a mountain into an ice sculpture.
Well, if Michael Irvin taught us anything, it's that you can get all fucked up on cocaine and still go to the gym.
True. Yep.
Leading me to Paul Sorvino, who just died this year.
True.
In July. And right after he found out about the Weinstein business, and he said, it's a good thing that Weinstein's already arrested, otherwise I would fucking kill him.
He did say that.
And I believe him. I
do as well.
I believe, because isn't his other daughter the one that's not an actress? Amanda, her boyfriend went psychotic on her in a hotel room. And he's like, he was a deputy sheriff in Pennsylvania, I think. So he just showed up. He beat the actual police there with a gun because he was a deputy or whatever, and talked him down and fixed it before the actual authorities could show up. But then they did get there and arrested him. So that's evidence that he means business.
He does mean business.
Which is too bad. That would have been nice. That would have been a good read on the can.
Hollywood vengeance.
Paul Sorvino rains down terror on Harvey Weinstein with a 38 special. Reloads it, unloads it again in Harvey Weinstein.
Yep.
Shot him 12 times. Gun only held 6. Had to reload.
Was Mira part of the Weinstein shenanigans?
Mira claims that, did you notice that it lines up, like she all of a sudden wasn't in shit for a long time.
She all of a sudden wasn't in shit.
She wouldn't fuck him.
Right. That's what I thought.
And then I believe that Peter Jackson said that she and Ashley Judd were barred from being in the Lord of the Rings movies, and he didn't know why.
Huh. That's well, I guess I don't know if it's unfortunate or not, because those would be two pretty big names that would be in that franchise that's not really known for its big names.
Well, I don't know that he even wanted him. It was just that Weinstein was like, they're not allowed to be in this movie, and he's like, okay. Mira Sorvino, yeah, because she's, able to chameleon into about anything. Ashley Judd, I'm not really sure where you'd stick her in this.
I'm guessing Arwen and the other one, the Rohan lady. What's her name? Arugula?
Taylor?
Anyone? Eowyn, yeah.
She would have never worked there. She's too old.
Who? Mira Sorvino?
The one who kills the Lich King?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Eowyn.
they're too old for that. I mean, what's her face is old now, but she's like 10 years younger than them.
Okay, all right.
Whoever she is, she's great. They nailed that cast.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It kind of worked out.
Worked out good. Hobbit 3, not so much.
Hobbit, The Trials of Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah.
Not a good movie.
If you were curious, Paul Sorvino is also a best-selling author, a painter who has paintings on display. He sculpted in bronze.
Okay.
Made sculptures, then casted them, and they've got sculptures on display in Pennsylvania.
They were all of 38 specials.
No,
so
I think it was
weird,
they were actually characters. They were one of them was a famous poet, and he was really good. What didn't he do? Apparently, in his own words, he was actually not a gangster. Everybody throughout his life was like, "So you're a gangster, right?" And he's like, "No, I'm a fucking painter, a sculptor, an actor, a producer, a singer, a dancer. I'm about everything. I work on my own cars, but you know what I'm not? A gangster. It's the one thing I'm not."
Never had the opportunity.
Yep.
Could have done it. Qualified. Never just
That seems too lazy. Too lazy for him.
Yeah.
All this other stuff is like a lot of hard learning and things like that. Being a gangster is just sitting around eating, counting money, slapping guys in the heads for not picking up all the money. It's lazy.
Racist?
I didn't. Any gangsters of any skin color, that's what they do. They sit around and count money and slap heads of guys who didn't.
You said eating. Do you think the Jewish mob eats
I've
a lot?
seen the Russian mob that eats. The Jewish mob's got the marble rye. They're always eating. They dress like slobs, slap each other in the head. They leave money behind, and they're stealing money.
Okay.
It's lazy.
I guess mafia, all of them. Eating a ton of food transcends cultures and races as long as you're in the mafia.
Screwing around, not getting all the monies. That's the whole thing. Right across the board. Doesn't matter where they're from.
Okay. All right. That all you got?
That's all I got.
Okay, Jackie, we're going to go to you for costume talk. How are the costumes?
There were costumes in this movie.
Right, no,
it seemed a lot of like rip away clothing.
Yeah, right.
That's as much as I could say. The most dramatic thing was when the pants ripped from crotch to all the way out, And the rest of it, most of everybody was dressed in black. So, I mean, if they didn't have different hair colors and haircuts, you wouldn't know who was who. They did give the girl a white undershirt, which made sure that you knew that she was a girl by showing the boobs.
Sure.
Yeah, the ladies both had white and the men all dressed in black.
Okay.
That's the costume talk this week, ladies and gentlemen. Van Damme does not get his butt out as part of his costume, which was disappointing. He got hit with a snake or something, but that was it.
His butt still was center framed 3 times that I can think of.
He didn't do the splits either.
Still out there. Jackie, I'm going to go back to you. You're probably the only person here that would give a crap about the name of a brand that you would put on your body. I buy my clothes at Walmart or Target. Don't really give a crap.
You don't even buy your clothes.
Can't buy your clothes at Target.
True.
If you're not a teenager, you'd go into Target and you were like me. You'd be like me when I went in. And I'm like, I can't be a 5XL. Target does not have fucking clothes for you.
Okay.
They have clothes for teenagers.
You know the names of designers and brands. Have you ever had a bad experience with a purchase that was not quite authentic?
Oh, like something I bought down in Mexico?
Sure.
that's like the Louis Vuitton bag that I bought down in Mexico that you knew was fake, but because it was only $10. But the zipper broke on it. I used it 3 times, and the third time I used it, I was on a trip and the zipper broke. So then I had to go buy a real suitcase and not the $10 special from Mexico.
Okay. What, did it have tiny bombs that were made of Greek fire in it by chance?
No, but customs did pull me over with that bag every time. Or the airport security. The
do what?
bomb dogs wanted to, or the drug dogs wanted to smell it every single time they went through my bag.
The purse was the culprit? You weren't like getting profiled, or you were getting profiled, but your theory is it was solely because of the purse?
Yeah, because I never had a problem with airport security before until I used this bag. And then every time I used the bag, the drug dogs would go crazy.
Huh.
Maybe the bag was made of drugs, but it was a gangster situation, so there was a mix-up. Some heads got slapped. They ate some things, but then nobody ever went out and got the bags that were made of drugs back, and they got sold on the street for $10 when they're worth millions.
Yeah. Do you still have that?
No, now it's some old lady's got it, and she's like, "This is my fake Louis Vuitton bag."
Or she figured it out and she smoked it and got stoned.
And realized it was super concentrated and OD'd on smoking enough heroin to kill an elephant.
Yeah.
But man, she was happy when she went.
I don't know. Uma Thurman looks like she's in quite a bit of pain when she ODs on the H. So, also, whenever that's the only time I've ever seen anybody OD on H in a film. I don't think anybody really ODs in. No, there is an OD in Trainspotting, isn't there?
Yeah, and in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but that's a puke. She chokes on her tongue. She chokes on her vomit. So she doesn't necessarily OD. She spews, but it's in her mouth, and she's too unconscious to be able to puke it out. Remember? He kills her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that counts for an OD, though.
Like
accidental
on the
death.
Yeah, if you
.com website.
If you choke to death on your own puke, you have overed your dosage.
Yeah, I'll give you that. What if it's on weed and you just have a stomach ache?
No, you don't. I can't imagine how bad ODing on weed would be.
Yeah, no, you don't actually OD. You smoke a bunch of weed, but then you've got a tummy ache because you had too much Taco Bell from the munchies, and you puke, but you're also really into this movie that you're watching, and so you can't adjust your position, and so you just kind of forget that you can't breathe because you're too stoned, and then you die.
I would think that you just... Because you can't physically smoke enough to overdose because your body stops smoking it, right?
Right.
I think you could probably eat way too much, but what is that amount? And I've heard horror stories of people that said, I accidentally ate 100 milligrams, and I was like, what happened? And it's like, I couldn't move for 3 hours. I was just paralyzed in fear of a wall for 3 hours. Couldn't do anything.
Okay, all right.
Sounds lame.
It can happen. You can puke. Yeah. All right, let's get into this. So here we start out with my favorite filming of all time, underwater action sequences. I love them. They're always so exciting.
Well, and the fact that it opens up... Go ahead, Sam.
That's the
Thanks
music
for backing
from
me up here.
Thunderball, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's so exciting musically, and there's just guys swimming. And that's what these
Sam,
guys are
back
doing.
me up while I open this up here. Ready? And then, Sam, music. Thank you. We open in the middle of the water, the murky water, and then, oh my God, is that a doll head? Look at the eye, the agony.
Yeah.
And then divers.
Yeah, these divers, they find a crate of knockoffs. That's what we found, the crate of knockoffs, and they're like, let's get it. And it's in the ocean, someplace in the harbor. It's not actually even in the deep ocean. And cops are on the way, and they're like, secure the package. And then one guy manages to fail completely in securing the package and interprets secure the package as open the front of the crate. And does, oh no, damn it, all the dolls are loose, and it's just filled with dolls that float up into the harbor.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with this, where he's like, okay, did you get it hooked up to the winch? Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then I opened it up. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And he gets slapped in the back of the head. Nobody puts the dolls back in the thing. They just go eat something.
Right? Yeah, and then like half of them take off, and half of them aren't even involved. Like this is all so vague as to what's going on. It's really hard to track. Some guy in a car named the Tickler turns a dial, and the dolls explode in Greek fire.
It's the green stuff from the Game of Thrones. What do they call that in Game of Thrones?
Dragon fire.
Dragon fire.
Yeah. Yeah, but I thought Greek fire was supposed to be green as well.
No, Greek
or maybe
fire
that's just green
is
fire.
made of pitch, and they can't figure out how to do it still. But what happens is if you
supposed to be
dump
green.
water on it, it makes it worse. It just runs the fire everywhere. Water won't put it out. It'll just make it liquid fire.
That's what it was, is they just launched bacon at them. Just, bacon. Here's some bacon, and everybody's eating it. And then they lit a match and started a grease fire, and they're like, put me out. This
so
bacon's
much
delicious.
Bacon on grease on my face.
Mm-hmm.
I was laying in the bacon.
Oh, we'll put some water on you. Greek fire. I cracked the code. I should be an archaeologist. In fact, I'm going to get a fedora and a whip right now. See you later. Podcast out.
Because that's what archaeologists do. Have adventures. Work for oil companies and have to give the bad news that you can't dig for oil because there's like history right here. Fucking nutsacks. Grinding the wheels of industry to a halt.
Mm-hmm. Fucking archaeologists. Their good looks and their old dads who hate Nazis. Okay, so the cops chase this getaway boat of several of the divers. Not the Tickler. The Tickler just drives away. We never even see him for the rest of the goddamn movie.
That's not true.
Okay.
He's the coughing man.
Yeah, he's the coughing
guy. With the glasses. He's the glasses guy who pulls his glasses off and they turn into little
Tickler?
That's the
Tickler.
Tickler.
The little knives.
Oh my god, the Tickler sucks. Let's circle back to the Tickler here when he becomes involved again.
When he's fighting, he does like tickle fingers too.
Oh god damn it. All right. So, we got this one Hong Kong cop, the man from Hong Kong, and he's chasing down this boat and they like wreck him and he crashes. But he dives out first, and then their boat crashes. They're like, shit, this boat's all fucked up.
Yeah.
You can't turn or stop it.
He has a classic moment, or this is a classic case of shooting instead of driving.
Uh-huh.
But he jumps out, and he's mostly okay. Whereas they just all stop driving and run into some rocks, and one of them falls out and dies.
One of them just kind of bails. He actually looks like he's the only one that would be okay because the boat turns over pretty good, but he seemed like he dove in the water beforehand. But anyways, the Hong Kong guy comes up. I don't know what happened to the other boat guys. And he turns over the body and there's a grenade under it. Yeah. And then the grenade, Jackie, you set this up better when we were watching this.
Yeah, so I'll explain the grenade, what happens here. They roll the body over. Mm-hmm. It has a pin arm. The pin arm is a knockoff, so it springs too much and throws itself into the harbor to blow up, therefore causing more damage.
More damage to what? Rocks?
To rocks and coral reefs, yes.
Suck it, tuna.
So I think what happens is, because they call him Sergey.
Okay.
Like, say if Sergey's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, he doesn't seem okay, so he gives him a grenade and turns him over on there. Turns him into a trap. But then Sergey wakes up and he's like, oh, I can't get up because there's a grenade there. And then the cop shows up and he's like, yeah, and he pokes him with a stick and he turns over and he's like, all right, Sergey, the bug is up, or the jig is up. And Sergey goes, I'm not Sergey, I'm Ser Grenade A.
Oh my God, yes. That's what happened.
I'll give you an 8 on the stupid pun-o-meter. Somehow the grenade flies out from Sergey and ends up in the water, though. Even though the cop doesn't touch it and Sergey's dead, it just grows legs and is like, I'm out of here. That's my problem with the whole sequence. It's very vague. But the cop is blown to safety. Yay. Cut to Hong Kong in the year 1997. As you historians will know, that this is the year that the British rule ended and reverted back to the Chinese. Boo! In Hong Kong. I bet you those Hong Kong people wish it was 1997. Actually, they wish it was like 1997 right now, because
that they could be independent. I don't know. I read something.
They could be independent.
Social unrest is like really low there, so whatever.
What the fuck? That's the second time you
I
said
know,
that.
but every time I read it, I'm like, this Chinese article says everybody loves it here.
Yeah. Oh, the Chinese article. Oh.
Well, how else do you track it? You can't go there and get real information. You have to trust them.
You read it on Breitbart.com.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe I was racist, but yeah, dude, come on. The Chinese say, "Oh, everybody loves it." Dude, they're on there being like, "We Chinese rule. Ha ha ha. We're not protesting in the streets. We're celebrating. We're not burning the city down. We're having bonfires to make marshmallows." Yeah, that's what's going on there.
Giving some socialism to those windows.
Open them up. Okay, so cut to Rob Schneider. He's a fashion designer, is what we're told at the beginning of this movie. He's working with models. We're not really sure what his job is. He's just like, get out there and shake that skinny ass, bitch.
Act like you haven't eaten in a week.
Yeah.
And you're chasing a hot dog. That's how he should have finished it.
Ooh.
They're like guys. They're just like, I don't even know what their titles would be. They just like get jeans and sell them to somebody else. They're just middlemen.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
They're manufacturers.
Why is he at the fashion show? He's not a manufacturer because they're selling somebody else's product.
Rob Schneider has a gaggle of models, jean models, because he wants a gaggle of jean models. They've got too much money. Yeah. They're screwing everybody. Yeah. Everybody's getting screwed. And he's like, Van Damme's like, I want James Bond's car. And he's like, cool, go get it. And Rob Schneider's like, I want a bunch of babes. And he's like, go ahead. Make them wear the jeans. They'll think they have jobs here.
Are we going to pay him? No. Oh, no.
That depends. I'm going to ask my friend Harvey on how I want to deal with that.
Yuck. Okay. So yeah, he's pals with JCVD. Rob Schneider's character's name is Tommy, and JCVD's character's name is Ray. He's driving around in his E3, and he goes to this warehouse, and he's looking through boxes, and being I'm the guy. Hey, you're over there. Hey, it's good to see you. Yo, there you are. Where am I at? You're there. Being friendly guy, everybody likes him. He opens up this box of dolls, and it's our dolls, and he's like, and why are you opening up other people's stuff? Anyways, Skinny, the big guy who is part of the mafia,
he's the knockoff guy.
He's the knockoff guy, but what's the mafia in Hong Kong? It wouldn't be the triads, would it?
Probably,
because it's under British rule. You think that would be not a thing?
They're still ethnically Han. You have to remember that.
Okay. Right.
So I think it's the triads were in
sneaking
Hong Kong.
Around. Yeah. All right. So he's working. He's a mafioso, and he slaps JCVD and says, "Don't you look at those, Ray? I would kill you right now if I didn't have a bet on you in the race." Oh.
Question mark? I haven't seen this since it came out, so I was like, race? Are they going to do it? Brought me to a happy place because if you recall many years ago, Roman and I were going to try to do that promotion of middle-aged men foot racing in back alleys, and there was going to be side bets. And it didn't, nobody actually wanted to race each other. They just wanted to drink and bet on the racing, but we couldn't ever find anybody for the races.
Yeah, it's too much. So he goes and meets up with Tommy, and Tommy gives him some fake Pumas, Pummas, and JCVD already knew about these Pumas. Anybody got a pronunciation on two M's in Puma?
Pumas.
Pumas. He knows that they're knockoffs, right? Because they say Puma.
Mm-hmm. We already also seen one of the Sui Hark, because this happened in when we did Double Team, the other movie that he directed for Van Damme, that we've already had like a POV shot of an inanimate object and just like 5 strange shots of objects.
Yeah.
Like object. Like, hi.
Yeah, like when we cut away from Slim and he's like, wah, 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 like Jabba the Hutt, and then the fish comes that looks like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, right.
The grouper.
Filmmaking. It's a metaphor, Jackie.
He does.
Look at that transition.
Of the POV shots of the they foreshadow things like the knives thing. Like, why am I looking at this knife?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he's going to throw him. But it's weird. I like it, but it's weird.
Okay, well, get set for the race. It's rickshaw racing.
I don't think this is a thing.
If it was, would you like it?
To see legitimate businessmen, or legitimate, if you know what I mean, business guys run down the street with one of their associates in a rickshaw. Yeah, I would pay to see Michael Kors or Paul Mitchell run down the street with somebody in a rickshaw behind him.
It's been proven by the copiers at the football game so many years ago. It doesn't really matter who's racing or what's racing. If it's a race, you're gonna like it.
People like it
because people liked the copiers racing on the TV on the big screen at the football games, and it was like they're cheering for fucking
I don't think
copiers.
That was a nationwide.
This is stupid.
I think that's very regional that you're talking about.
I know,
again.
but the point remains the same, that people will cheer for animated copiers as long as they're in a race. It's a fucking animated copy machine. You're cheering for it. What's it going to be? The orange one? The blue one? Oh my god, let's bet. And then they bet on it. People were betting on the copy machine race.
Oh, it's blue! Oh!
Lost all my beer money on the white copier.
I swore it was going to be white. What's your measure of judgment on who you take? Well, I don't know. They're copiers. Okay, so mayhem ensues in this rickshaw contest. It is not just it's not a drag race. It's loosey-goosey, no rules, no holds barred, knock your opponent off it's the downhill skateboarding race at the end of the Skate Town USA, or the one we just did with Thanos in it. What was that movie called? Thrashing. Yeah. You can knock your opponent out of the race, like Ben-Hur style.
Yeah, it's like a gladiators. It's ancient Rome with rickshaws, guys slapping heads for people that forgot to get the money, all the money.
Yeah, and this is the best part of this race, is when Van Damme takes a shortcut through a market in an alley, and then Rob Schneider's got an eel or a snake or something that he's whipping him with to make him go faster.
He didn't just he stole an eel and whips his butt with a live animal?
Yeah, it's like an eel or a snake or something, and he's like, come on, go, and he's hitting him with it.
That's too far, man.
The dirty, dirty things that take place in Hong Kong, Justin. That should be a secret episode on Stinker Madness.
Hey, those fish market guys, they're operating on slim margins. They don't have just eels to hand out to any old athlete that comes by, or even not the athlete, the guy sitting in a damn chair, and then using an animal to smack a man's ass, and then 3, smacking a man's ass.
He's smacking it like he wants to chew on it. He's making faces at it. He's like, rah, rah.
Yeah, he wants to motorboat those butt cheeks.
Okay. Well, problem. The Pumas have blown out. We get very detailed early CGI video of the Pumas blowing out in slow motion. Like bolts are shearing off of it. The rivets are coming out. The Titanic is going down. Puma.
Yeah, it was very dramatic, and I was really worried that, he was going to trip and maybe twist an ankle due to poor shoes. And, I was really disappointed when they just fell off.
Yeah.
He's just barefoot now. Like, it was great, too, because you had shots from inside the shoe, like exactly what was failing.
Okay, so also his brother, that is very poorly established that they're even related, is cheating. He's in this race. They pull a switcheroo because they got a little person in the back of Eddie's car, rickshaw, whatever you want to call it, and they switch him with another dude that looks like Eddie and a child in the back. So they're gonna get in a car, drive farther up the race, then get another rickshaw that looks like the rickshaw that they just got out of, get into that and be like, hey, bud,
I have no idea how this switcheroo is going to work out positively. Because they'd have to put themselves in a van in the back and then get out at the finish line. Do the other guys just fuck off at that point?
Yeah, like, they just drive right into the harbor themselves?
Like, you're setting up a situation where you're actually going to crash into your own decoys.
Yeah, no. But fortunately, we never get to find out. Actually, not fortunately, because now I want to know. Because this other van pulls up and nabs the phony Eddie. And the guy's like, wait a minute, that's not Eddie. So what? Says the guy holding the gun and shoots him in the face. So what? What do you mean, so what? We're here to kill Eddie. That's not Eddie.
And then they go back to their boss who's eating. And they're like, did you kill Eddie? And no, but we killed a different guy.
So what?
Why would you do that? Are you going to kill Eddie?
No, so what?
Well, gentlemen, it's a little bit like when you go through the drive-thru and you realize that they've given you the wrong food, but you're still willing to eat it.
Right.
It looks enough like him that I'm willing to eat it and then try to pass it off as I got what I wanted. Or this is the guy at Sam's Italian dinner where they're all like eating and slapping each other in the head.
With the Russian,
he looked close enough.
I think the Russians are drinking vodka, maybe not eating. They've got their own flavor of it, but he's like, did you shoot Eddie? I shot a guy that looked a lot like Eddie.
Yep.
That's good enough, right? Yeah. I mean, it's you order spicy chicken and you get a plain chicken and you look at it and say, so what? And you eat it. I'm with Jackie. These guys we know how they operate now because of all the food intake. So he's killed. Ray sees this shakedown and is like, they've got my brother. But he's like, they're my business partner. I don't know. It's so weird. So he jumps onto the van. He latches on with the rickshaw in tow, which then causes the van to skid out and crash into a candy store.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like just a supermarket or a little street corner store or something because there's soup cans there because the lady will get hit with soup later.
Right. Oh, that's true. It's not just candy. And the lady cop is there like immediately. Where
she was shopping there.
She was shot. Like, so it's just an incredible coincidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I came here for soup. Well, you're gonna get some.
Yeah, because they show a close up of her face as she's running towards the back of the store, trying to avoid being knocked over.
Okay. Or crushed by a moving vehicle.
Shooting
knocked off,
ensues.
if you will.
Yeah, right. Lots of bodies. One guy gets away, and then Rob Schneider, he runs in, and he thinks that the lady cop is also a criminal, so he throws the soup at her, conks her in the head, fractures her skull open, clearly causes a concussion, but I think a little bit of brains probably came out too, because, those soup cans are hard. I don't think you can take a soup can to the head.
I don't know. Again, we're talking about Rob Schneider's arm here.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks like he wings it pretty good.
Skulls are pretty hard.
Yeah, I don't want to get hit.
I'm not going to know.
Like,
that's not bad.
You're on getting that CRT.
Best case scenario, if the corner of the side, if it doesn't just like hit you perfectly with the side, which is your best case scenario. If one of the edges hits you, there's bone chipping involved.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Your brain, your skull's
You've got a concussion.
Be damaged. Yeah, you're going to end up with the CRT and CVT, JCVD. What's that called?
CTE.
Yeah, there's too many acronyms now. That's my problem with America these days. Too many acronyms, and I get confused. We gotta cancel acronyms. Say the whole thing. Take the extra 30 seconds.
But then nobody gets to be WWF now.
Yeah, it's the World Wrestling Federation, Sam.
It was the World Wildlife Foundation, but they changed it to like WWOF or something.
Yeah, and that judge, you know what that judge should have done? To decide this dispute, Vince McMahon needs to wrestle a panda bear. The winner gets the rights to WWF.
I'm taking the panda.
I'm taking the panda. They're really bad at surviving, but it's Vince McMahon. All right, so they get hauled in and interrogated by the
British military.
The British military, General of Britain. He's there.
He kind of seemed like he was trying to be the embassy at the same time. Because he's like, look, once we're out of here, fuck you. I don't care if they lock you up forever.
Yeah, he's running Hong Kong like it's a fucking high school.
And the Hong Kong's lady's like, yeah, they're just going to bribe us and get out. Who the fuck cares? Let them go.
And they also, like, behind the double mirror, they have technology that's, like, analyzing their breathing patterns and their heartbeats like they're freaking Daredevil, and can tell that they're lying. That's doesn't really go anywhere because the only people that really get involved, we'll get to that. So the Hong Kong cop lady, she's like, all right, well, we're going to be watching you. You get out of here. You're free to go, but we got our eyes on you. And as they're leaving the police station, this lady comes up and she's like, hey, I need to talk to you. And they're like, we just got done being talked to by the cops. And she's like, I'm not a cop. I'm the vice president of sales for V6 Jeans.
And I was confused because when she's talking, she's just a pair of white high heels. And then they show a face and I'm like, okay, I think that the high heels go to this face.
Yeah. Shoes.
Because they do that to her like several times. Like, look at her fancy feet, people. Like, this is... Have you ever seen shoes or feet in shoes that look this nice in white shoes? Like, somebody's got a white shoe fetish and they thought her feet were the cat's ass because there are several shots of her feet.
Or Soy Hark was just like, what's the weirdest thing I could put in this scene right now? Those feet. Because he does it with like knives and there's like a fish. There's just weird shit like, inanimate object.
I don't think that is the weird part. I don't even pay attention to it. Why does the vice president of V6 Jeans have a desk at police headquarters?
I think she just stole somebody's desk. She's just sitting in, she's like, is that your desk? No. Why are you sitting in people's desks?
Because I'm stopping criminals.
She's like,
I'm here to get these guys.
I am the vice president of V6 Jeans. And Jean-Claude Van Damme's like, but I'm the president? Question mark.
Right? I mean, what's my job?
Yeah, because I kind of thought that this was their company.
Kind of made it seem like that was their company.
So who the fuck is this? Like, now it seems like they're just the manufacturer douchebags that are supposed to be overseeing manufacturing in Hong Kong. But they've told people that they are the designers and they've made this like false slice up for themselves. And they have head lice.
Oh. Okay.
I'm just going to throw that in there. They itch their heads a lot in this movie.
Okay. She's like, hey, look at these jeans. And they're like, these are pretty nice jeans. Try to pull them apart. And they're like, no, we can't. We're wieners. And then she's like, okay, try these jeans. And they pull them apart immediately. And she's like, those are shitty jeans. Those are the jeans you've been selling. They're shit. They're knockoffs. And they're like, what? No way, dude. We don't sell knockoffs. Oh, yeah, look at this. Look at this data. You've got it in your ledgers. Oh, yeah, it says right here, January 6th, sell shipment of knockoff jeans. Huh. How did we not know that they're your jeans, guys?
So I'll tell you exactly how they figured that this was happening. I've got a theory.
Okay.
As a lady, you go to the dressing room, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And ladies are always like, I can wear this is my size, but they usually should buy the size or two up from what the size they're trying on. So they go in there, they squeeze their asses into these pants, and then they start ripping.
Yeah, their butt comes out.
They're like, oh, and then what you do is when you damage clothing in the dressing room, you just leave it there and you get the hell out, right? You don't tell anybody. You're just like, these jeans are ripped like in half. Literally, when I went to go button them, I had the zipper up and then they just went pop. And so they'll just leave them in there.
Okay.
And then the stores are like, dude, I don't know what's happening, but all of your jeans are just splitting at the crotch.
That's how this lady tracked it down. Okay. $5 million worth of phony jeans that they have sold, that they owe V6 Jeans, I guess, or something. I don't know.
I don't know what's happening here. I have no idea who she is, what she does with the jeans, what they do with the jeans. Mm-hmm. They just send jeans to the States and they sell them. I don't know.
I don't either. I'm so confused. So she's like, now you're going to get involved with my investigation. You're going to meet me at 6:30. And they're like, oh, we don't have a choice. She's the vice president of jeans. She even uses the word jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Not in my jurisdiction.
My jeans jurisdiction.
You're not law enforcement.
Which is global.
You sell pants.
In case you were wondering.
Okay, goodbye.
Later, I'll have a pants party.
We don't have to listen to you. We're not involved with you in any way, and you sell pants.
No, she just buys, I don't know. She just buys pants and she's pissed off about the pants she got. This isn't the quality that I had expected from Hong Kong. And they're like, okay, well, set your expectations back. Dial up your expectations to Hong Kong quality product expectations.
Okay, let me get this straight. You've got a master's in business administration and work for an international company, probably Fortune 500. You're the vice president of pants, and you bought $5 million worth of pants, and at no point did you say, can I see your factory or see how these pants are put together? You just said, hey, there's a guy selling pants. I'll take $5 million in pants.
Send them all.
Send them all. Ship them all. I don't think you're good at your job there, VP of Pants.
She hasn't even noticed that they're all exactly the same size yet. There's only one size of pants. She's got 5 million of them.
Fits all. Okay, meanwhile, the Russians are killing their own guys because the one guy who survived the boat crash or the truck crash in the soup store, he gets back and he's like, hey, man, I don't know what happened. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, you got a drug problem. You're always screwing up on the job. So we're gonna beat you up and stuff.
Yeah, they off what's his face, the brother, quote unquote. That's his bodyguard that's strapped to the exercise machine.
Okay, all right.
But then the other guy is their own guy and they kill him too.
Yeah, vaguely. So then they're like, how are they involved in the pants? That's what I don't get.
I don't know that they are involved in, well, the pants, they're putting the bombs in everything, even the pants.
Okay. No, because she's there, like, there's something about the pants. The skinny comes in, and he's like, we got to put the pants, and there's a shot of the pants.
Well, they got to him, to the brother, whatever his name is, in
Eddie.
order, yeah, that's how because Eddie is mixing in the shitty pants that they're making with the real V6 jeans, which, unbeknownst to Rob Schneider or Tommy and Ray, they don't know that they're actually surprised when she's like, you've been selling me the shitty pants. Because, what is his name again?
Eddie.
Eddie has been taking these pants and mixing them in with what are supposed to be all of the V6 jeans.
You're saying Eddie is cutting the product?
Eddie's cutting the pants with shittier pants that are actually full of bombs.
Okay. Now, all right. Now I'm starting to get things put together here. All right. So, Tommy gets nabbed in this restaurant. They're eating lunch, and you think he's getting pulled away and murdered, but instead he's pulled up on top of the roof by his pals, the CIA. He's an inside man. He's not an inside man. He's a double agent. What do you mean, double agent? Or just a CIA guy?
He's just a CIA guy.
Okay.
And they're in the Buddha.
So, no. This is up on the rooftop of the restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
So Ray is climbing up the ladder to save him, but he hears that Tommy's a CIA guy, and he's like, damn you lied to me after all this time. I'm going to push you off the building with a mop, and they're just about to follow his death, and then Paul Sorvino's like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Paul Sorvino.
And then you ask this question to yourself. What did the CIA want with those pants?
He confesses that he has been working in the pants business for 4 years, 4 long years of American taxpayer dollars going into his investigation of pants.
What's his end game?
These pants aren't real.
But the pants that
Mr.
they thought they
President?
were making were the good pants. They didn't know until recently that their good pants had been knocked off. They still don't know that whatever his name is the guy that's cutting the pants with the bomb pants.
Mr. President, we found bad pants. That's what our investigation in Hong Kong has yielded. Bad pants.
We found bad pants. Okay, we'll send down the vice president because she has global pants jurisdiction.
Yeah, right. Good thing we got the VP of pants over there. Okay, all right. So I guess he kind of forgives him, whatever. But they got to go to the raid at 6:30 because the vice president of pants in her jurisdiction is going to raid Eddie's warehouse of pants at 6:30. So they go there, and this van busts out the door of the warehouse, and JCVD and the Hong Kong cop guy dive onto this van, and then there's this big fight sequence.
They're like, okay, we're not. Nobody knows that Rob Schneider's a CIA guy except for Van Damme right now, so they're just pretending to be pants men. We're just pants men. We can't really put on a sting. We make pants. We're pants men. This is out of our league. So they're like, okay, well, I'm the vice president of pants. This is right in my league. My jurisdiction is global, as noted. So they're about to sting whatever's going on in this warehouse, but the Russians just drive a truck right out of it.
Okay, it's the Russians. It's not Eddie.
It's not Eddie. The Russians drive a truck out of it, and they're sitting on a balcony having dinner, and the truck drives through the legs of the balcony, and Jean-Claude Van Damme's just, whoops, I'm not having dinner anymore. Now I'm on this van. That's what happens there.
How do I get off this crazy thing?
Now, is this the first time that we've seen the Russians? Or is this the second
It's like
time?
the third time.
Yeah, other than
because
the beginning of the movie.
When I was watching this, I swear to God, I thought, okay, so now the Russians are involved at this point. Because I didn't get that those were the same other group. Like, I thought that was just a different mafia group. But not the Russians. So then when they're like, it's the Russians. And I'm like, oh, so now there's Russians, Italians.
There's no Italians.
There's 2 Italian mafias.
There's no Italians.
There's no Italians. Paul Sorvino's not a mobster. He said so.
Okay.
If Paul Sorvino was in your living room, you would ask him if he was a gangster and be like, no, I'm everything but that.
No, the Italian mafia was in this. Paul Sorvino was in it. I know. I saw Paul Sorvino.
So he turns, he's double-crossing, so he's basically, okay, you can have the Italian mafia. You can have, I'm giving you the Italian mafia.
Thank you.
Okay. There's also more of the whole warehouse explodes in the green fire.
Yeah.
Like, they blew up their own base.
They're covering their tracks.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm with Sam. They had to, because if they didn't, then they would go in and they might find that these Duracell batteries that they've been sewing into things are actually bombs.
Hey, we don't know that part yet. All right, so there's guys with guns in the back of this van. They get in a big shootout. They're like guys with sniper rifles, and they're trying to shoot Van Damme who's on top of the van.
It looks like those are knockoff sniper rifles.
Yeah, no shit. And they fight on top of it, and then eventually Van Damme gets knocked off of the van.
Yeah.
Literally.
And then he pulls the detective out of the van with him, and it's like, but I had
and it just drives away.
And he's
just drives away, free and clear.
No, you can't.
Good job, Ray.
I'm a pants man.
Yeah, I got to crack this pants case. All right, so they find this bomb on the ground or something on the ground. I don't know what it is.
This is the tracking unit.
Okay.
The bomb tracking device.
Okay, and he uses it to find that he's got a Duracell battery in his shoe.
Yes.
Yes.
And Then they go to the secret CIA lab that is inside the Big Buddha. And I don't know, again, was that built? Did the CIA build the Big Buddha?
No, they just tunneled into it like a bunch of assholes that don't have any respect for archaeology.
Yeah, nice. Well, archaeology. The Big Buddha was built in the 90s, bud.
I don't care.
It's not.
If they tunneled into it, there could have been shit down there.
Could have been shit.
History and shit. Getting in the way of oil. God damn it.
History and shit. Okay, so they explained the movie to us, sort of, via this really cheesy computer screen graphic that some guy at the CIA was paid to make. And all these little tiny bombs are going to get put in cell phones and TVs and dolls and whatever crap is shipped out of Hong Kong that can be knockoff to America to blow it up.
To blow it up. And they already had the animation
America.
ready, dialed up for this, even though they just found out about it.
Right. That's what's going on. Tiny little bombs that shoot out green fire is going to explode America for profit?
Profit.
Okay.
Well, if you're the
We find
Russians,
out-
maybe you just eliminate your enemy.
Maybe, but this is 1997. Boris Yeltsin's on pretty good terms with old Billy Clinton.
Yeah.
Things are going swimmingly. And it's not even the Russians, it's the Russian mafia, which, yeah, in today's Russia, that's one and the same, but in 1997's Russia, those were two separate entities.
Yeah.
They need money. I guess there's blackmail, which is Paul Sorvino's game at the end of the game. Oh, spoiler alert. But it seems stupid. It seems like a bad plan.
It seems like a bad plan.
Okay, so these tiny bombs are controlled by remote control. You still need a detonator for them. Do you have a detonator for each tiny bomb? Or do you detonate all the tiny bombs with one detonator, which would imply that every time you detonated a tiny bomb, the ones that you're manufacturing back at the plant are also going to blow up? Or do you just have billions of detonators with billions of guys pulling the tickler dial?
I know they say it works off radio, which is really problematic because then anything
Really
could set them
problematic.
off. Like
Anything. You've got range problems there. I mean, like, you turn the dial in Moscow. It takes 8 hours for
it
those
won't make
radio
it there
waves
ever. It's radio.
It won't make it. Like, this is a bad plan.
But then somebody hits their key fob and it blows up half of Michigan.
Ah, yes, but that was the plan, Sam. Oops, we blew up Serbia on the way. Bad plan.
Yep. The guy driving the tanker put on some smooth
Right?
jazz and blew up half the ocean.
This is a dumb idea. Okay, so they find Eddie in this arcade, and they say, "Hey, how dare you? You were putting bombs in bad pants." And he's like, "Yeah, but Skinny made me do it. I didn't want to. Skinny was working for the Ruskies, and I'm sorry about the bad pants. I didn't want to blow up good pants, so I gave you bad pants that had bombs in them. I'm sorry about your business reputation for good pants."
Yeah, had he not cheaped out on this, had he not been a skimmer, that fucking Eddie, he would have been fine. Nobody would have ever found out.
Right. The problem isn't the bad pants, it's that there's bombs in pants, JCVD.
Yeah. Bombs.
You ruined my life. You ruined my business. I had a reputation for good pants.
But it's okay. He's
Taking that away from me with your blow up America scheme.
got some anti-blackmail, pro-blackmail. There's evidence in the safe that's going to be good for them, I guess.
Right.
So he goes over and he opens the safe, but surprise! It's been rigged with a missile.
He's the fucking Rocket Man.
He shoots across the street and blows up a wall. Just like, he vaporizes. Eddie's completely vaporized. The wall isn't that bad, but it's kind of fucked up. And then it looks like a whole gang of shirtless Asian men are attacking them for vengeance on the wall. How do they even know that they're there? Who are these guys?
I don't know, but the only thing they shout is they killed Eddie, and then there was obviously a look-alike contest going on downstairs because they all have the same black pants, haircut, and no shirt. They come running up. And then there's another group of guys who look like they're from the Village People hard hat section, and they're running at everybody.
Those are the guys that are mad about the wall. We got to rebuild that wall.
So they're Eddie's guys?
I think they're Eddie's goons. I think that's who they're
Eddie's guys. They know these guys. We didn't blow him up. It was a fucking... There's a missile in his safe. He had a missile in there. It went off.
Did you see the guys that came in and put the missile into the safe? Those were the guys.
They're like, no, they were fixing the VCR.
Yeah, with a missile.
That's what they said. Well, apparently they put a missile in the safe. That wasn't very safe.
They had free cookies and juice when they let them in. So that's why they knew it was okay to let them in with the VCR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, bigger problem. Why a missile? You've got tiny bombs.
I just really think that that's, style. Like,
okay, all right.
I'm gonna shoot you with a missile because you're indoors and you're like, well, the one thing that can't happen right now is that I'm gonna get shot by a missile when I open up my own safe. Whoops, guess not.
See, and if I was going to go for a signature, I'd go for, the Silver Bullet movie where the kid shoots the werewolf in the eye with the firework. Mm-hmm. And then that would happen, and then it would kind of fizzle out at the end, and they'd be like, whew, and then it would blow their head off.
Ah, because they would keep the firecracker lodged in their eyeball.
Right, because they'd be like, I can get it out at the doctor. And then it would blow their head off like 5 minutes later.
That's the type of guy Eddie is, Jackie. Yeah. I'll just leave this here.
I think that now that I've the missile in the safe, if I would have ever been an assassin, that's what I would have done, is choose the most improbable weapon for whatever situation to kill them with, and so
that's
be just
your
awesome.
Calling card? Yeah. Okay. That damn Sam was here. Mm-hmm. He used a knife gun. Okay. All right, so JCVD's busy getting chased around and fighting Eddie's goons / construction workers and they've got these weird long like spatula style knives that they're like chopping them up with. I don't think that they survived. Like they're knives.
Yeah, he seems like Rob Schneider should be in pretty bad shape here.
Yeah. And then he fights them with chains, and meanwhile Tommy steals the security VCR. And both of them get away via karate.
And a lot of people get hit in the face with jackfruit.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you'd really think that Rob Schneider's character would be more adept to fight because he is part of the CIA. They do have to train for fighting sequences. And he's like, nope, running away. Gonna grab the security camera and I'm out of here.
Jack Ryan was an analyst, Sam, and he could whip a lot of ass.
He was in the Army first. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people in the CIA that are really good at keyboards.
Yeah.
And that's their biggest skill.
The two highest jobs that I know it's the FBI, but it's still, a government investigation entity. The two biggest requirements that the FBI wants you to either have is a law degree or an accountancy degree.
Yep.
Not a black belt in karate, believe it or not.
They don't want you to smoke either.
No smoking.
No smoking in the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
Fuckers. That's just discrimination against smokers.
And unless it's Pole and you're J. Edgar Hoover. Too soon? Too soon, guys? J. Edgar? Anybody mad about J. Edgar joke?
I mean, you can't not smoke in those heels.
I don't know what you're talking about.
J. Edgar Hoover used to dress like a woman.
Yeah, and he was very anti-gay and anti-trans.
Anti-everything. J. Edgar Hoover...
He locked up a lot of gay people for being gay.
He locked up a lot of people for being not J. Edgar Hoover. Like, that was the most dangerous... Like, anybody who wasn't him was in danger of being arrested by him falsely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he would dance around in his office and as a pretty lady. So it was kind of like cool stuff, America. Anyways, enough about J. Edgar. He's
was
dead.
he locking up the gay men so he could have all of them for himself?
No, I think it was just being a giant ass homophobe.
Okay. But
Like,
then
just the
dressing up like a
worst.
lady later.
Well, that's usually homophobes' MO is they don't like gay people because they themselves are gay. And they don't want to be.
But this way he can have them all for himself, too.
Right?
Yep.
But he would never admit it. He would never admit it to himself
Okay.
or to anybody else.
He was going to build them a special prison. And then when somebody looked at the plans, they're like, why is there a gazebo and a nice little brunch area over here that catches the sun just right with these flowers? And
All
like,
the
why is this prison like so nice?
The uniforms are just Speedos. Weird choice. It's for budget. Speedos are very inexpensive because there's very little cloth. It's budgetary. I'm saving the taxpayer money. It's not because I like ass.
Yeah.
Why is there a mandatory swimming time?
Physical health hour.
Isn't that what the hour of jumping jacks is for?
That's to check out their penis. I mean, for heart health.
Ah, okay. Why is the menu so much better than at the regular prison? I mean, these guys are getting like real food and like fresh fruits and vegetables and shit. And like real nutrition, like healthy nutrition.
I like watching them eat bananas
Oh.
for their heart health.
High in potassium.
It's good dreams. It makes them pass. They don't have nightmares when they get scared in their sleep. I'm not gay. Okay, so all right. So Ray, he goes to Skinny because he watches the VCR and he beats up all his dudes and he stuffs him in a Nissan and he's like, "You're going for a ride, bud." And they jump out the fucking window of the parking garage that Skinny has his Skinny has his face
So he also
on the window. I don't know.
does human bowling in the car before they jump out of the window.
That's true.
He gets a strike. All 10 pins fly. It's ridiculous. And then he crashes it and rolls it back onto the wheels, so it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. No, that car didn't make it out of there. He drove the freaking front end into a dumpster. That thing's done. It's a Datsun. It's not exactly a Mack truck.
I thought this was a Mercedes
Yeah, that
that he's
was a
driving in this
Mercedes.
scene.
No, it was a Datsun.
No, it was a Mercedes.
You guys do not know shit about... Oh, yeah, which one?
The one that you had that you wrecked on the freeway.
Nope.
No, it wasn't one of those. That was a Subaru.
Sure wasn't.
I don't know what Mercedes model numbers they are, but
It's
it was
not
a coupe.
Mercedes. It wasn't. It was a 4-door Datsun.
Okay.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to leave it to the listeners then. I believe that in the scene where he runs through the Colonel Sanders window and into the water bottles, that was a Mercedes.
Okay, well, we're going to have to take a break up here pretty soon. I might jump on the old IC... Oh, no, I'm pulling a Jackie. ICTMB?
ICBM safe missiles. Next time you
your
open your
bum.
safe, you're going to help blow up Poland.
Don't put them in your actual safe. No, I did pull a Jackie. Internet, car, movie, database. What's this movie called? Knock Off. No, that's internet, car, movie, database. What the hell? They might not have a listing for this movie. It may be too shitty. Because all that's coming up is the IMDb. Here we go. Okay, all right. You guys ready for this?
Sure.
Okay, let's see if I can find it. That's not the right one. That's a bus. Thank you.
Well, I'll throw out another presidential fact while you look.
Okay.
Did you know that Alexander Hamilton actually denounced
Was
democracy?
not
Was
president.
not president.
No, never was president.
Presidential facts.
Yes, he was never president, but he also despised democracy and set up the banking system so that only his rich banker friends could control the market.
Okay,
That's
where
what
you
the
getting
stock market is for, too. The stock market's for aristocrats being able to control all the money.
Yep.
that?
Alexander Hamilton.
We were both wrong. This is a Mazda Luce, Luce.
Oh.
Luce? Mazda Luce?
Luce.
I've never even heard of one of those. It must have been a Japanese only. But yeah, that's the car. It's got Mazda written right on the front. How about that? Okay. All right. There you go. Never new fact.
Fun.
I wonder if it was a Vonicle. Probably not, because it would have broke down. All right. So Ray takes Skinny to the CIA at the Big Buddha, and while Tommy's getting sexy with the VP of jeans, she's putting her boobies in her face. I think she's trying to pull a honeypot here. It's gross. I don't like the idea of ever seeing Roy Schneider get sexually aroused on screen. I'm out on that. Look, nope.
Well, I don't think you can gloss over the fact that he's washed his back off in the shower, but then in order to stop the bleeding, he's attached maxi pads to the inside of his t-shirt.
Where did he get those maxi pads?
That's what I want to know.
He has his own jeans team of models.
They just leave boxes of maxi pads at his condo. Is that his condo or her condo?
That's their office.
Why is she? Why they?
So he just went from desk to desk and found available maxi pads and put him in his coat.
Is that where he lives?
I think they live at their office because they both have clothes there.
Right? Okay. Weird. Wait, Ray sees the VP of jeans on Karen on the security tape at Skinny's place, and he's like, oh no, she's involved with this whole thing. She's dirty. So he goes back to the office, I guess, and as he's leaving, the entire Big Buddha explodes in green fire.
So she... Okay, hold on. I'm lost now that I think about it, because if there was so much happening, I mean, the movie moves enough that you don't think about what just happened, and it's hard because you're like, oh, that doesn't make any sense anyway.
Right.
Nobody else went to Lee's office? Did she really put the missile in the... Or did we just not watch enough tape before it all got blown up?
She was the first person they saw on the tape, so they automatically assumed it was her.
What did she even do there?
That's somebody I recognize. Let's do it.
Skinny was on the tape as well.
So she's the vice president of jeans. It's like a game of fucking Clue figuring out who put a missile in that goddamn...
Right. They just, Skinny's there. Oh, well, the jeans lady who is investigating Eddie... as her jurisdiction is also there, she must have put that safe in there. Or that missile in the safe. I don't, this seems stupid.
Which one of them was holding a missile?
Yeah, right?
Because it's a missile. It's very hard to conceal.
It's in my purse. I mean, it's not in my purse. Don't look at my purse. There's died a missile in there. Yeah, it's stupid. And then the freaking Big Buddha explodes. And it's like the entire Big Buddha explodes. It's not just the CIA blab that oh no, all those CIA guys are dead. 150 tourists that go up to that thing every day.
10,000 people
died. They all died. This is a national tragedy for the independent state of Hong Kong. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Big deal. How'd they blow that up? Also, Paul Servino was in there. He's dead. Oh, no. There's no tears for him, though. He just runs back to Tommy. Tommy's handcuffed because of the sexy time. And he's like, hey, you got my pal. Let's get in a fight. So they start fighting around. And she reveals that she's CIA. Oh, that's right. We met at the Christmas. Shit, man, I forgot. Karen. From Office 32C. God damn. I'm sorry we got in a fight. Yeah, it's me, Tommy.
Yeah, well, I grew my hair out. That's probably why you don't recognize me.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I also got a boob job because they said that if I got a boob job that I could smuggle guns better. Yeah,
you're smuggling something, all right. Don't send me to HR again. Okay, I know what I said at that Christmas party. It was not appropriate. I will try not to comment on your delicious tits ever. Oh God, yeah, but I did it again. All right, you know what? Just send me to HR.
It's cool. I mean, I took some pictures of your maxi pad shirt so that I could show them around the office if you do harass me again. So I'm gonna let you have that one. But You don't want to be known as the Maxi Pad King for the rest of your life.
Not again, at least.
You make a little throne out of boxes of maxi pads.
Mm-hmm.
What would the Maxi Pad King do?
I don't think that there's going to be a fun answer to this.
He says, none shall pass.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Just get all over the Lord of the Rings this week.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there a game of flows?
Okay.
A game of flows?
Oh my God.
It's like basketball. It's a game of runs.
That's not basketball. Basketball's not a game of runs. That's baseball.
No. Basketball's a game of runs. Like one team goes on a run, then another team goes on a run. Point runs.
Oh, okay.
Baseball, you score runs.
Okay,
Anyway,
gotcha.
doesn't
Right.
matter. We got to move on here.
Okay.
There's
It's gross.
But
Let's move on.
The king of maxi pads isn't good for. Okay, all right. So there's a bomb in his clothes. Oh yeah. Wait, I'm skipping notes here. Al Gore's on his way to Hong Kong. Everybody, Al Gore's here. Thank God he made it. So they try to get his help. They're like, shit. There's bombs in pants. Al Gore's here. Paul Sorvino's blown up. We got to go straight to the VP of not pants of America. See the difference, lady? She's like, oh, okay, all right.
So she's not the VP of pants?
She's the VP of pants, but not the VP of America. Al
How
Gore was
is
the
she
VP.
onto this and why? If she's not really the VP of pants, she's in the CIA. She's like, the CIA's got me on this pants incongruency.
Uh-huh. I think that the CIA was like, there's something going on with these pants. You need to get a job at pants. And she worked her way up to vice president. She has been working there for years as a double agent. It's the only way. You don't just, the CIA doesn't just go, okay, now you're the VP of pants. Get in there. This is a real company. They've got a logo and marketing and other employees that are working there when they go to her office. This is a legit deal. And she had to work her way up to VP of pants.
How do you...
She's been working there for 10. She's like, I have given I came into the CIA to stop Russia. Well, I know that the wall came down, Mr. President. So, my options were a little weird, but I gave my life to pants.
What does the CIA want with the pants?
We're still trying to figure that out, the CIA here, okay? We figure if she can get high enough on the pants ladder, we'll figure that part out.
Because the CIA's got two people that don't know each other on these pants, and they're playing
pants.
the people against each other on the pants deal because the pants deal is so important to the CIA.
Well, not to mention that they've got a whole nother CIA team that's underneath the Buddha.
Right?
So they've got 3 different teams working the same pants angle.
Get me.
They got 3 fucking teams working the pants angle. They got
Get me
Rob
Langley.
Schneider, the booby lady, and then they've got the Buddha group. I mean, they're
Get me
all
Langley.
working.
Sir, the pants are crap. I knew it! Ha-ha! Worth every dime. Crack the code. Okay, so Ray finds that he has bombs in his clothes, and Karen and Tommy, they're getting nabbed by the Russians, I think, and they're putting bombs everywhere because he's getting dressed, and he's about to walk out with his new clothes on and explode by bombs, but the man from Hong Kong has taken out the entire Russian hit squad and been like, I got your bomb. Boom, boom. JCVD.
He's like, thank you.
Team up, and they high five. So Tommy and Karen, they're tied up on this boat. And this boat, I think, is headed towards Al Gore, who's giving a speech on climate change or something. I don't know what this boat's doing. But they're like, stop that boat. What's the boat? What's the point of the boat?
The
I
boat?
don't know,
Anyone?
because they keep saying that today is the day that England is going to pass over Hong Kong to China. and they're making a big deal about it, but then they're also acting like it's happening inside of this harbor right on the waterfront, and this boat has wandered its way into the harbor. It's like, why didn't you block the harbor?
Yeah.
Dipshits.
No kidding. Yeah. Well,
Like, this is the honor system. Nobody will float in today. We sent out flyers and put them on ships' windshields.
Also, don't they want to be more covert about this?
I would think. They're shipping bombs to the U.S.
It should be like on a normal shipping day.
Blow the bombs up in Hong Kong. That's not. I don't know what the plan is. Because guess who comes out? Freaking Paul Sorvino. He's dirty.
So
he didn't get blown up. He blew up his own man's because he's now the guy that's shipping pants with bombs on them.
So he put the missile in the safe.
Ah.
Is this an octuple cross?
I don't know yet.
Wouldn't he have been on the tape if he was the Rocket Man?
He's like, I'm my own enemy, and he punches himself in the balls. Like, he's turned so many times he doesn't even know which way he's facing.
Yeah, wait, whose side am I on? I needed that Eddie guy to get the crap pants into America. Why did I blow him up?
Why did I blow him up?
Shit, God, I am confused now. said the mastermind. And he's like, you know what? Here's the plan. Ha ha ha. I'm going to blackmail America and their satellites with tiny bombs, and they got to pay me $100 million a month. Ho, 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 ho. Wait, why are the satellites now involved? I thought you were just going to blow up America.
Well, I think he's going to use the satellites because that's how he can set them off. Now they're satellite, not radio.
Wow. Okay. All right. $100 million a month is what he's got coming in. Ray and the Hong Kong cop, they zip line onto the ship and take over the crane, smash it into the bridge. So now, or it's some part of the ship that looks like the bridge because it's like a dual bridge ship because they smashed something that looks like the bridge, but later the bridge is intact and they're using it.
They also independently zipline on two different areas. Right. It's very strange. I never can find out who's running the crane through this whole thing.
I think it was Ray.
No, because they both leave and start fighting, and that crane is still dropping shit everywhere. There's like a guy that works there that just is like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go willy-nilly with this crane. I can't determine who's driving the boat either.
I know who that guy is. He's a knockoff.
And he's knocking off the things
cargo
on the boat, the cargo. So this is actually not a double entendre, it's a triple entendre.
Yeah, hey-o.
These things get knocked off at the boat.
Yeah, and I would love to contribute to this part of the movie, but honestly, I was so goddamn lost. I'm like, they're on a boat? No, what's this? It's a crane? Nope. This is a tugboat? Nope, that's not what this is. This is a thing out in the middle of the ocean that they dry dock on.
It gets worse.
What?
Because Ray has at some point taken the juice from the bottom of a Domino's pizza, spread it all over the floor of the boat, and starts sliding around shooting people like he's grease fucking lightning.
Yeah, he's sliding around more than Statham slides around in that oil scene in the transporter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And you're kind of grossed out by this.
Yeah, those pants aren't going to hold up. You know that the pants, quality of pants you're wearing,
Ray. He has the good pants that the elephant can't break because he had to get a pair of those ones because he didn't want to blow up because all the shitty ones have bombs in them. But the good ones don't have bombs in them, so he's wearing real pants.
Good point. All right. U.S. choppers are inbound because
these are British,
or not the British chopper. The king of British military is like, all right, that boat's coming right for us. Let's blow it up. You cargo ship, turn around. The Hong Kong guy gets up on the bridge that was crushed and turns the boat around. You think that they would have done something about that as well, like in their master plan, Paul Sorvino?
So he turns the boat around. They were headed into harbor, so now they're headed back out.
Right.
But the next thing that happens is the boat just dry docks itself.
It drives into another boat.
It's another boat?
That has a dry dock that you it's like the oil change place for boats. There's a boat that is a dry dock. Because they crash into the boat and then they end up on the back of the boat and he pushes a button and it dry docks the boat on top of the boat.
This is supposed to be one of the most horridly mutilated by editing sequences in this film. Is what's happening that they were, I think I can figure it out, that they were never on the same boat. Han is on the dry dock boat and Van Damme is on the other boat. But now they're together as the boats are now one. The one boat's on the other boat, so they're sort of in the same spot.
So the boat that was going into the harbor was unrelated to Explosive Pants? He just was like, I'm on a boat.
I can't tell you what happened here. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. The best I can do is that there's a mobile dry dock, and they happen to crash into it perfectly so that Han could push the button and raise it up, and now that boat's not going anywhere anymore. That's the best I could do.
And then what?
And then now it's still on a boat.
So who turned the other boat around? Because if Han is in this big one the whole time, because he pushes the button that makes the dry dock
He's not. When it crashes into the ship, he goes flying through the window onto the other boat.
Okay.
It is really confusing. Oh my God. All right. So there's more fighting and lead flying all over, and Harry runs to get away to the getaway boat because there's another boat involved now at some point. It's not like a lifeboat that was attached to the dry dock boat. Another boat has showed up and said, Harry, get on here. This boat's filled with guys with guns.
There's so many henchmen now. There's just endless henchmen. Because Van Damme's cutting them down like tiny trees, just little dispatching henchmen left and right, and there's just more henchmen. So many.
Yeah. So Paul Sorvino's on this other boat. Agent Jeans, she sees him get on that boat, and she's like, not on my watch. So she sprints, and she does something stupid to get on the other boat. What the heck did she do?
She barely makes it onto the boat, but she has like hold of this rope that's hanging out one of the portholes.
Before she does that, she does something stupid, and she like glides down a certain death fall on a tarp that's really long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't break her fall at all. It just kept falling onto her head.
Yeah. And then gets like completely trapped by that tarp, but then like frees herself and then goes, "Aya!" and jumps the gap and grabs like some rope on the side of the boat. But then the mobsters, the Russian mafia, is about to shoot her with an AK-47, and that's when Han jumps off the boat so that he can get just a little bit closer to shoot that guy.
Right.
And then goes in the drink and then swims back to the boat dock thing and is like, hey guys, well, we're skipping the part where Tickle Fingers and Van Damme are fighting because he does his tickle fingers and then he takes his glass lenses out and they're little knives and he kills one of his own men accidentally.
It's so stupid.
The Van Damme himself is sliding around the boat like it's a fucking slip and slide, and he's having the greatest time killing like 30 guys every time he slides out from by a container or whatever. And then
containers are smashing into each other as well, guys inside of them.
He's not only sliding, but he's Spider-Manning about.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. He's like he's a force of nature in this sequence. And he runs out of bullets, so he just like slaps guys, takes their guns and shoot them, and then like kills 10 more guys, runs out of bullets, finds a guy, takes his gun. Spider-Man's up here, slides over there, shoots a guy. Meanwhile, this one guy that's called Tickle Fingers would run him down, but he has to stop because he's got TB. He's fucking coughing behind the containers sometimes, and you're like, are you okay? Right? Are you up to this? Because he's flying around the boat, murdering the fuck out of everybody, and you've got a really bad cough.
You should get that checked out, buddy. What are you doing here? Meanwhile, the boat that they're on is completely wired with the tiny bombs that Paul Sorvino has at some point set up, and he's got the detonator, and I guess that's where all the pants are too.
Yeah,
I'm not real
so
sure.
that was supposed to be the boat that they took to America to sell their wares. But it's gone south on him, so he's just escaped onto another smaller boat.
So Agent Pants, she sees that he's about to hit the detonator, and she happened to have some bombs that fell into her cleavage at some point.
Yeah.
So she pulls them out of her cans and chucks them towards Paul Sorvino. He hits the detonator. The whole boat explodes, and you hear him laughing, going, ha, 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 oh, ho, ho, ho.
This is the second time he's exploded.
The second time in the movie, green fire has gotten the Paul Sorvino. And then the other boat that they were on with the pants explodes, and they jump on a Zodiac, and they get away. But then while they're getting away and it's exploding, they go from water level to a shot of them like 100 feet in the air, like they rode a geyser that was in the ocean, and they're on their way back down now.
Explosion. So yeah, the coughing guy gets killed. Tickle Business gets killed by a shipping container. And his head comes off. And his legs come off.
His head comes off, and then he gets hit by the shipping
explodes
really
when
weird.
the shipping container hits him. All of his limbs come off, and one of them almost hits Van Damme in the head. Then Van Damme's like, oh, there's another Russian guy that's got like, he's knife guy, but he shoots him, I think. I can't remember. He kicks him in the face good enough once that he probably shouldn't get back up, but he does. Does Han shoot that guy?
I don't know, but what does this have to do with the geyser?
Because we're forgetting the part. We skipped a part where he just takes his shirt off just to take his shirt off.
Just to take his shirt off. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He's like, I think Han shoots the other guy that has the knife, and he's like, oh, okay. And then he just takes his shirt off. No, Rob Schneider shoots him. And then he's like, hey.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, cool. And then he just takes his shirt off because he's been
I know I'm about to go on a water ride.
wearing it too much in the movie. There's been not enough
this-
shirtless Van Damme, so he's like, I've had it with this shirt.
And it's been pretty grody sliding around in all those oil slicks.
Yeah, right. That's true. He's like, yeah, I'm not getting this thing worse when we go for a geyser ride. Jackie, where does the geyser of water come from?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. All of a sudden it's like this shot and there's all this water around him and you're like, what the hell is going on? And it kind of seems like they're coming off of a giant wave, but then the next shot makes it look like all the water's just falling straight down, like
Exactly.
they were a geyser, and then they're all holding on for dear life, and Van Damme his legs are flying up behind him, and then they hit the water and everybody's okay, and then they save the other lady. So I'm not sure where the water came from.
If the explosion happened and it caused a tidal wave that gave up immediately.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Yeah, and when Van Damme's riding down it, he's actually riding it like it's a rodeo bull.
Yes.
And then
he
Han
is.
and Tommy are just sitting in the boat and they're fine. But he's like, whoa, gotta hold on to this bucking Bronco. And they're like, no, you can just sit still. It's cool.
And then they float up and they find the detonator that Paul Sorvino used to blow himself up in the water. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll take this with us. 2 hours later,
Well, you forget
Paul
that
Sorvino's not dead.
Face has to dodge a shipping container swimming style. And then she gets back in the boat. And then Tommy stands up and starts looking around funny. And she's like, what are you looking at? And he's like, Johansson. He knows that he can't be blown up.
Mm-hmm. We've seen this before. Yeah, no, Harry's not blown up. He's loading up a new bomb into a dino toy.
And he's got like a cigar box full of the bombs. And they're shithouse drunk fucking with this detonator. And there's some drunk lady that we've never seen before passed out with them.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the pants lady's gone.
She's gone.
She's just gone.
And Hong Kong is setting off their end of British rule fireworks, and so there's explosions everywhere. And they're like, "Oh, what's the deal with this detonator?" And they turn the freaking knob, and it blows up Harry for the third time in this movie.
So is he blown up for real this time? Because I just don't think so.
Also, that bomb probably killed like 50 people. It blows up an entire building.
Yeah, and
it's
they
not just Harry there.
laugh it off like they're just drunk. Ah.
Okay,
And
that's the movie.
He's like, I mean, anything's fine. I'm a pants guy that just killed 50 people, and you're like a secret agent of pants, so
Right.
This is just a funny joke.
First question, is Harry dead?
He can't be.
He can't be dead.
Because the other two explosions didn't kill him.
Why would he be dead this time? He never, there's no, oh, well, see, I knew you were going to blow me up, so I dove off early before I got blown up. No, he is in the fire is surrounding him in the second time he gets blowed up. He's blowed up, but he is unaffected by it. Harry cannot be killed by explosion.
No, he has made himself immune to explosions by starting with very tiny explosions and working himself up until he has developed an explosion immunity.
Okay, he's still out there with this master plan. Someday he's going to come back.
One of these days, I'm going to quit blowing myself up and I'm going to ransom the U.S. with not getting blown up.
All right, that's my first question. Next,
what
Sam.
happens to Pants Lady?
Well, did anything get resolved?
No.
So, I mean, she reports back to Langley, and they're like, yeah, but what about Pants?
Yeah, so Langley is like, we're going to bring you into the office, and she's about to do the report, and she's like, the CIA people are like, this isn't going to be what you think. This is not just a debriefing. We're really trying to figure out why we had 3 independent teams on Pants.
Yeah. Yep, you're fired. Whoever put her in charge of being in Pants, maybe she put herself in charge of Pants. I don't know. But either way, there's no more Pants. All the Pants blew up, I think, right?
Yeah, all the Pants blew up.
The evidence is that it sleeps with Davy Jones. They got nothing. Everybody's dead except for Harry, and many innocent civilians were murdered by Pants. And she's come back to Langley with, that guy ain't got any pants. Sorry. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
No pants. Okay. Yeah, she's fired. Jackie?
I don't have any questions. This was so weird that... Nope.
Okay.
So what's Rob Schneider doing then now? He's just palling around. Like, are they...
He's just hanging out.
They're just going to get into another shady deal.
I'm assuming he got fired too in the Pants meeting, and now he's just like, well, my only friend is Ray, so I'll go back to Hong Kong.
His overseers are all dead, except for the one that can't be blown up, who's obviously a bad guy. So I think he's just like, I'm pretty sure I don't have a job anymore, so I'm going to hang out with you.
Or he's like milking it, like, I'm just going to keep pretending I have a job, collecting my paycheck, and somebody's eventually going to ask, hey, what's the Pants situation? And then he's going to be, okay, then I'll be fired.
Yeah.
But he's just punting as long as he can.
So the only person who clearly still has normalcy is Han, the detective of Hong Kong. He probably just goes back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on to the next case, which is probably shirts.
You guys ever think about what goings on happens in the world of socks? The underground world of socks?
I know what happens to socks that go under the bed. You know?
They get
pull them out later.
Lost there for a long time. Like, well, there's a lot of socks down here.
Oh, hey, there's that sock. Well, we could crack the sock mystery, I guess. There's no underground. It's just under the bed. My first question is, do I like this movie?
I don't know. Do you?
'Cause I'm not sure that I do. I'm not sure that I do. I am so confused by it that I cannot really say I liked it. I just don't know. Like, when it comes to final recommendations, I'm going to give it a do but I don't know if I liked it.
I didn't like it the first time because I was expecting this. What I didn't really mention about Van Damme and the boring bullshit is this was his last one. Until the Expendables, he wasn't in a theatrical release after this happened. This put Sui Hark back in Hong Kong and it put him on the DVD shelf.
Okay. Career killer.
building up to this, though, some of the ones that did work out were like sudden death, which I did not like very much at all.
Okay.
This one, I couldn't ever tell if I liked it. When I don't think I liked it, but this time around, because it's so stupid, and the action is super zany.
It is, but at the same time, the editing is so bad.
It's so bad.
That it's really hard to fucking tell what's going on. Not just with the plot, but even with some of the action sequences. You're like, who's that fighting? Who's that? Who are these people? I can't tell anything because you're trying to over-edit this. It suffers from the late 90s, early 2000s over-editing and being like, whoa, and look at our editing.
They edited out the steak and potatoes of the film. They stripped it of 10 or 15 minutes of action sequences, which is a lot of action.
Yeah. I don't know if I liked this movie. I just don't. I don't know. I might have to take another view of it at some point, like 5 years down the road, and see if I like it.
Wish it could get its footage back. I wish there was some way for this to become whole again so they could see, because it's not going to be super long. I mean, they actually edited it down under 90 minutes. Which is
weird.
That's a heavy set of scissors.
Yeah. All right, Sam, you got another question?
I don't think so.
Okay. Last one. Is it nonsensical? Does it qualify for making absolutely no sense? Or did we kind of piece this one together and kind of figure out what it is about? Not that it's not stupid, but did we solve this mystery?
No, you just said you don't even know if you like it because you can't tell what's going on.
Good point.
What
Jackie,
sense could be made?
Like I said, I couldn't even talk about the last part of the movie because I didn't understand what the hell was going on. That's why I was been silent, up to this point, because it's like, I don't really have anything to say because I don't know what's happening.
Pants?
Shirtless guy. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Another boat. What was that?
Pants?
A boat. A belt. Okay. Guys, bam, bam, bam. Okay. Safety.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
The only thing we were able to really piece together was that the CIA had 3 independent teams on pants. And I can tell you that does not make sense.
That does not make sense. But actually does, because that totally sounds like a CIA thing that they would actually do.
Pants?
They sent a RoboCat into Russia, Sam, and it immediately got ran over on its first mission. Didn't even make it into the embassy. It was tacoed in traffic. We spent millions on pants. Investigation checks out with the CIA.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense to us, but in the context of history, it actually makes sense. Why would you be on the pants thing? Well, we sent a cat into Moscow. Oh, okay. All right. That's that. Final recommendations, starting with Justin. Yeah, it is. I was 50-50 on it for a long time because the editing is so terrible that I was like, God, I just don't know if I can recommend this because it's just like almost nausea-inducing how bad this editing is. But it's really stupid. It's really, when a movie's this level of stupid, it's pretty hard to not give it due to, because it's like, wow, dumb. So yeah, do. Now, will you like it? I don't know, but it's a do. So, Sam.
Do. Try to make some sense of it and get back to us. Because we even kind of figured out Dreamcatcher, but this one, no idea.
No clue. Pants. Jackie.
Do. Because it did have some moments like person getting hit with a can of soup, person getting whipped with an eel, explosions and fighting that were all kind of fun. I couldn't make sense of it, but I liked it and I thought it was a good time, so I'm gonna give it a do.
Okay, that's 3 do's. That's good fare. We're on a hot streak again. It's 2 weeks in a row. We'll see what happens next week when we go back to the well of nonsensical. You know who it is. It's M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong with his 2021 movie Old, currently streaming on HBO Max. So do that. Okay.
Foreshadowing. I'm gonna predict that's gonna be 3 don'ts.
Okay, probably. He doesn't have a good track record on the old Stinker Madness.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But enjoy your week, guys. Get to the chopper. Oh, and vote tomorrow.